Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you own based on, what level you own based on whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease. It's your boy Soul Immortal. Guys, I typically get up around 3-ish, 3 o'clock every morning, and the reason I do is because, this is a time where it just seems like the world is at a standstill. It seems like a time where, I can be in my own thoughts without having, so many distractions or whatever, right? And this is normally the time where I have, my deepest thoughts, or when I'm just kind of to myself. But for some reason this morning, I just felt like sharing my thoughts with you brothers, right? And what I'm thinking about this morning is that we have to start celebrating like the demolition phases in our life, right? In other words, we have to understand what's taking place, right? And that can be in our careers, that can be in relationships, it can be in the gain or loss of material things, right? But we have to understand what's going on. And this is what I mean. Like when I think back over the last, several years of my career, right? I see the pattern. The pattern is so cut and dry, right? I see myself, elevating in life, maybe getting a new job, and instantly I start creating my new life, right? Now after so many, after so much time, whether it's years or whatever, I can see the world around me starting to crumble, right? In other words, I can see that everything that I put work in to get to where I was, it's starting to fall away. But what I finally understood some years ago was that it was my new world coming in, and it was my old world, being taken away. Now the reason it's important for us to understand what's going on, because if we're unaware of what's taking place, then we can easily fall back, into our old selves, thinking that, oh, the Most High is just not bestowing His blessings on me, or whatever. But we have to understand that the demolition phase in life is just as important as you receiving, your manifestations, guys. It's all the same process. So again, we have to celebrate the demolition phases of our life, right? And going back to my career, at a certain point in life, I understood what was going on, right? I understood that it was my old life falling away. So I remember some years ago when I got laid off, when I was fully aware of what was taking place, man, I went around, man, I was shaking brothers' hands, I was hugging the ladies, man. And they couldn't understand, like, how's this brother getting laid off and he's like the most, lit man in the room. What I understood was this was part of the process. Now the thing is this. The thing is this, and this is what I learned, a little later in life. Once we get in any kind of situation and we start, creating this new life, now we'll start to see this world fall away. But what will happen is, when we see that is when we're supposed to start making our moves, right? But typically what people do, they get scared to jump into this new life they created. So what they do, they'll just sit there and simmer in it until something like a layoff comes up, right? But what that is, man, that's just the universe or God saying, you know what? You created this, so now you got to go. You got to go toward this life. So we have to, this world has to completely fall away, and it may come in the form of a complete loss of a job. The same thing happens with relationships. I can think back to, back when I was married, back when I got married at 20, 21 years old. And I can think about, my wife, who was my high school sweetheart. You guys may have heard me mention it once or twice, but her and I met when I was like 15 years old, man. So here I am, man. I was with a person, man, who saw me, growing up through high school, coming to my football games, went to the prom and all that stuff, got married at a young age. We, joined the military. She was there in my corner when I was going off to combat both times. We bought homes and made trips together over the years, man. Life was good. But the thing is, and the only reason I can talk about this is because me and my ex-wife, are very cool now, man. She's married and doing great things. Her husband is a solid guy. But the thing is, there came a point in life where her and I, our life just started having different plans. Maybe I had an idea of what life looked like, and she did too. So that world had to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Now the thing is this. I can remember, man, going through my divorce, man. Her and I both, man, we were butting heads and exchanging words. And of course, a divorce is not the most pleasant thing. But now looking back on it, man, now looking at where her and I are both in our lives, we understand now, man, that it was just part of the process, man. And the thing is, again, we have to, when we're going through these demolition phases of life, we really have to understand what's going on, guys. We have to understand that what's taking place is the world that we've created is coming to see us. You know what I'm saying? If you create a thing, it's coming to see you. But the old world, it has to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that process. Even when it comes to, material gain, man, I've talked about, enough times already, my lowest of lows when I lost everything, right? And I'm telling you, I remember when I was at the very bottom, there was a peace that came over me, man, that I cannot explain. Nothing to eat, no gas in my car, everything. I'm about to lose everything. And a peace came over me because what I understood was, the world that I'm trying to get to, I said that world can't, it can't come to be if I'm still in this situation. So as hard as it is right now, I have to understand that this situation is part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Again, guys, we have to celebrate, the demolition phases in our life, right? I was thinking about, the other day, man, I was thinking about this car I had to get rid of, man. So I had this car I bought a few years ago. I bought me a 2014 Chevy Impala, man. Now I can tell you this, man. I've had a lot of cars, man. I've had the SRTs. I've had a lot of different vehicles, and hands down, man, this Chevy Impala was the best vehicle I ever had. Right now, in my mind, I was going to be driving this vehicle for the next 5-6 years, man, 7 years, maybe longer than that, right? But the thing is, man, that vehicle, and it had 200,000 miles on it when I got rid of it, man. I was going to put, 400,000 miles on that thing. But the thing is, a vehicle that was doing me, justice, man, that was lasting, no problems. Around 200,000 miles, man, that thing started having problems. And I'm like, oh, dang, man, like, I plan on keeping this thing, man, till the wheels fell off, And then I started thinking about it, man. I said, you know what? I'm creating this life in my mind, right? And I'm seeing myself, making certain moves, man, as far as buying certain properties, remodeling homes. I had my mind was set on getting, a pet that's gonna grow to be large. And I said, you know what? This vehicle will no longer serve me in the life that I'm creating. So I understood why this thing was breaking down. It's the same process, man. And as I moved into, a newer version of my life, things started coming, and I understood, man. I made different moves, and I understood it. But we have to start celebrating all of the demolition phases in our life. When things are going wrong, guys, we have to see it as part of the process. And even when it comes down to, life and death, when it's our time to clock out and leave this planet, we have to understand that even in our darkest hours, guys, in that darkest hour where we're on our deathbed and we're about to transition over, we still have to see, we still have to celebrate, in other words, the fact that the old is falling away and that we're moving into the new. You know what I'm saying? There's no aspect of life where this doesn't fall into play. You would think that if we understand this, that we would be sad when children are born and happy when people transition to the other side. You know what I'm saying? But it's backwards, But, yeah. those are my 3 a.m. thoughts this morning. We have to celebrate the demolition phases in life, guys. You know? If you like this type of convo, guys, my 3 a.m. thoughts, I'll start putting these on Patreon on a regular basis, man. But, yeah. It's your boy Soul Immortal. And I'm out.
At ease!